Alright, welcome back to Skyrim. So last time we started our journey to figure out what the fuck happened after our drinking contest with Sam, and now we are in Whiterun. Between recording sessions, or not recording sessions, it's not a new session, between recordings I obviously made it to Whiterun, and then I did some selling to Adrian and then to Farengar. Now we're just looking for Isolde and speak of the devil. Let's just make sure we keep this spell prepared.
So, you're finally back. Look, I've been patient, but you still owe me.
Yeah, I've been getting that a lot.
Oh, what's wrong? Did the engagement fall through? Look, how about we call it even? As long as you bring back the wedding ring, that's really a shame. I was so looking forward to the wedding. You said you'd have all the most interesting guests.
Morris just realized something as well. The note mentioned holy water. We started at the temple, and that's presumably where we got the holy water. It mentioned a giant's toe. It's presumably what we trade Gletta the goat for. The last thing on the list is a hagraven feather, and now we're talking about marriage. So I think he's just kind of put together what that means. Do you know what I did with that ring?
You went right out to give it to your fiancée. Don't you even remember where you left her? And after you told me that sweet story of how you met in Witchmist Grove, I can see why she left you.
This is glorious.
Yeah, she was just selling me the ring. It's my fault that it's gone. Yeah, let me just pay for the ring.
Decided to go through with it then. I know you couldn't have forgotten about your fiancée. You spoke of her so glowingly. I don't know much about Morvenskar, but it sounded like a lovely place for the ceremony. Congratulations.
Morvenskar. Okay. That's our next stop. Forking over 2k gold like that kind of hurt. We're doing pretty well though. We've still made a profit since we've gotten to Whiterun. In fact, I've not actually sold to Eorland yet now that I think about it, so I'm just going to do that a little bit really quickly to cover some of the losses there. But yeah, I think Morris is glad that he's not meeting his quote-unquote fiancé. He still doesn't know what possessed him to try to propose marriage in order to get the feather. And he's not interested in any sort of romantic or sexual relationship of any type.
Got a lot of steel to shape.
Yep, what do you have for sale?
Gods be praised.
Let's just sell you the flawless gems, this dagger. You can have a little bit of a good deal on that too. Why not?
Good. There's plenty that needs doing.
That was a bit of a stern good. Alright, so Morvenskar. Believe that is near Windhelm. Well, I, the player, know, but Morris thinks it is. And he would be correct. So we're going to take a carriage to Windhelm in order to pursue the next step. Looking at the Nordis board, what? The notice board also reminded me that I picked that up. The notice to kill the bandit leader near Dawnstar. Of course, Morris doesn't know this, but I know that once we finish our misadventure with Sam, we're going to end up back in Dawnstar's Inn where we started. So he will be able to pursue that and also give the blade to Silas once we're done. Right, so the carriage then. Just going to take my little shortcut because I really like this shortcut, even though the camera's a little bit jank with it. Nothing I can really do. There's an invisible wall there that messes with it a little bit. And that shortcut actually has you climb through the invisible wall, to be precise. Okay, so he's not there. There he is, the carriage driver.
Need a ride?
Yes, I'd like to hire your carriage.
Where do you want to go?
To Windhelm, please.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
But yeah, as I was saying, the reason why Morris is prioritizing this over his quest to give the pieces to Silas rather than going to Dawnstar and then handling this is because this was a rather rambunctious night he had. So he wants to just figure out everything that happened, make sure that there wasn't any other consequence to it, and then he'll be comfortable with pursuing the quest that he initially was. pursuing, that is. Have I mentioned that I'm on like my 3rd glass of rum? So forgive me if I stumble my words a little bit. Morvenskar is this way. Some mildly floating flowers. Good afternoon.
I'm on my way to Solitude to join the Legion. A united empire is better for everyone.
Good for you, but if I were you, I'd be a bit less open about that in this territory. You are kind of in the Stormcloak capital of the region. I mean, he probably gauged that I, being an orc, am not a Stormcloak sympathizer, and he would be correct, but I mean, you never know. There are some Stormcloak sympathizers that are the Imperial race that you run into on the road. Good day.
Greetings, brother. You look weary. I have something to help you relax, if you're interested.
And what exactly are you talking about?
The finest skooma, the sweetest moon sugar, at a fair price, of course.
Just give me what you have and we both can walk away from this.
No need to get so hostile. Just take it. Sounds like you need it more than I do.
Morris won't be using it, but you won't say no to some free money. Some Stormcloaks here. You know what? Let's have some fun, Lucian. Wow, magic. Oh, sorry, Lucian. Let's have some fun, he says before blasting him on accident. See, look at that. We actually sustained a hit while casting a spell, which, in case you weren't aware in my load order, when you're casting, you actually do take more damages, which is why, or part of why, Morris got one shot so often. But now he has so much health that it's actually, he can survive it. Which is pretty interesting. I see you throwing your ice spikes. I was hoping that Burguk would go up there, but no, he appeared down here. Oop, I got the rock jump. Hey, she was a wild mage. Yeah, so for those of you who are not aware, I also have a mod called Wild Magic for NPCs, and what it does is it uses SPID, Spell Perk Item Distributor, that is, to distribute the Wild Magic ability to NPCs, and there's a small chance that you could configure by looking in the attached any in the mod. But yeah, I have it set so Wild Mages are pretty rare, and she was one. Which is why she shrunk like that. It's actually rather unobtrusive, I find, to have NPCs with wild magic, because one, it's only a chance that they will be a wild mage, and two, they have to actually trigger a search for you to find out. So there's a good chance that we have encountered more wild mages than just her recently, but she was the only one that actually triggered a wild magic surge. Okay, Ghost out Scout Head Burguk. Oops, accidentally killed Burguk's minion. Do we actually still need our backpack? Yes. It's probably because we're carrying a good amount of gold on us at the moment. Let's refresh a barrier in our iron flesh. Jerk. I feel like the candlelight light is actually a dimmer, I guess is the word, than the previous Arcanist torch light I had. Sorry, I'm having a hard time getting my thoughts out because I'm also focusing on combat. Because I notice it's not as bright, so I might actually have to do some tweaking there. Just make a similarly colored light source and then just make it a bit brighter. How dare you? Right, well that's a portal. Here's a chest. Ooh, are we over encumbered? Even with our backpack? Yikes, okay. By a fair bit, too. Okay. So we're gonna have to drop some shit. Or divide some of the loot with Lucian, who I'm just gonna teleport to me.
Careful.
Yeah, actually, why don't you just hold on to, like, 9,000 gold? I actually can't get to those chests without proccing the portal. Just scouting the place before I actually commit to using the portal. Do we have anything that could be disenchanted currently? No. Besides our boots, but I'm not disenchanting those. Okay, we've got a door that can be unlocked. Staff of Fractures. Interesting. Ooh, Destruction skill book. Nice. And that is rather unpleasant. I can only imagine it smells rather awful in there. Alright, I guess what's left now is just to look through what's in the portal. Look at what's through the portal, I meant to say. Rather calm place. Interesting statue. Does that depict Sanguine? I guess that makes sense.
You're here. I was beginning to think you might not make it.
I'm glad you're not responding to my necromantic spell. In fact, you could just hear Burguk die in the background. Would have been a bit weird if he was responding to my necromancy.
I thought you might not remember your first trip here. You had a big night. I think you've definitely earned the staff.
I have all the things needed to repair except for the Hagraven feather.
Oh, the Hagraven feather and so on. You can throw all those out. You see, I really just needed something to encourage you to go out into the world and spread merriment.
That's quite the look you have going on.
What are you staring at?
Who are you?
I am Sanguine, Daedric Prince of Debauchery. I know. How could I lie to you? Well, how could I trust you until we've shared a few drinks? But it wasn't long before I realized you'd make a more interesting bearer of my not-quite-holy staff than this waste of flesh.
Interesting. I think this is the first time I've actually met a Daedric Prince face to face. I mean, I talked to a glowing orb that was Meridia, but I think that was more like talking to a vessel of hers. I'm actually meeting Sanguine face to face right now. Why did you choose me of all people?
Let's be honest here. I don't always think my decisions through, but you You're going places. Maybe a little influence from your old Uncle Sanguine could help adjust your course a bit.
Thanks, I guess.
My pleasure. But I think it's time for you to go. No fun keeping you locked up in here with the staff.
Welcome. Let me know if you want. I think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
And we're in Dawnstar all of a sudden. I hope we never see that man again. Although I feel like calling him that man is a bit of an understatement, considering that he's a Daedric prince. Hi.
Colorful.
I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Good day.
spend the rest of the day sleeping off this hangover that's still plaguing me. So you can just hang out here, Lucian. Alright, and we've leveled up. Let's get a little bit more magicka. I'm actually feeling pretty good about where my health is now. So we could increase our restoration somewhat. Healing becomes more powerful when we're below half health. It is interesting. How about our destruction? I've been looking at this one for a while. I think it might be finally time to take it. Yeah. Alright, Lucian, you can stop waiting now. In fact, am I hungry? Yeah, I'm peckish, so I'm going to have a quick meal. Let's have potato bread, chicken dumpling. Nice and early start to the day. It's 6:30 a.m. So now we just have to talk to Silas about the fragments of Mehrunes' razor. It seems like we're running into a lot of Daedra recently, Lucian. Got the Skull of Corruption. We helped out Meridia. We just had a misadventure with Sanguine, of all people. And now we have the fragments of Mehrunes Dagon's weapon. Definitely a bit of a trend going on lately. Oh yeah, and we also have the Mason Molag ball back at the college. Forgot about that.
What is it? Do you have one of the razor fragments?
Yeah, here are the blade shards.
Look at them. The legendary sharpness of a Daedric weapon. Marvelous. And here's your payment for the shards. We just need the hilt and the pommel now.
And here's the hilt as promised.
Did you try the grip? Isn't it eerie how it seems to mold itself into your hand? Here's your gold. There's only the pommel left to collect. Exciting, isn't it?
And here's the pommel.
Our master craftsmen are nothing compared to the perfection of the Daedra. Look how it shines. Here's your gold, as promised. Finally, all the pieces of Mehrunes' razor are in my hands. It's time I let you in on something. There's a fourth piece, that scabbard in the display case, built to house the razor. And there's more. I know how to put all the pieces together. We just need to take them to Dagon's shrine and contact the Lord of Change directly.
This sounds like a terrible idea.
You don't want to be a part of history? Fine. I'll be at the shrine if you change your mind.
I guess we might as well accompany him, just to keep him on a short leash, if anything. Last thing we need is for him to open an Oblivion Gate or something like that. Oops, Sun Blizzard. Well, we'd best hurry, so it looks like we're going to be traveling through this. 'Cause I don't think Silas is going to wait for the weather to pass. We've got to go there. I believe that's it. Follow up to kill or capture the leader. There's the shrine to Mehrunes Dagon. So it's a little bit west towards Morthal. Yeah, I think I'm looking at the right one. Oh, well that was a rather short-lived blizzard. Definitely makes it easier for us to travel. Speaking of us traveling, keep up. Let's not miss our turn this time. I nearly did it again, that's why I say that. Oops, I meant to click auto walk there. For whatever reason it didn't register. I do think that more games should have an auto walk feature. It's so convenient. I was able to just get a good stretch in because I didn't need to put my hands on the keyboard. I think we could just cut across country a little bit. Because it's in those mountains. In fact, I think I see it right now. It's a statue of Dagon if ever I've seen one. Let's just give them a Burgut to occupy them. Ooh, nice. Conjuration perk. Yeah, we're not going to be fighting them. I just wanted to amuse myself by throwing a Burgut at them. Yeah, let's spend that Conjuration perk really quickly. Why not? Edge of Oblivion. Pact magic. Yeah. So now when we summon our Burguk, our destruction spells will be a little bit better with him nearby. Some Stormcloaks fighting a troll.
My speed will be your neck. Let's go.
Right, so the shrine is up there then. We could go around looking for a way up, or we could take the wizard way. I think I already know which way I'm going to take. Alright, so we have some stairs here. Dim Hollow Crypt. I get a strange feeling that place may or may not be important later. I'm actually undecided whether or not Morris will be doing the Dawnguard questline, or DLC rather. I'm actually not a huge fan of that DLC. And here's my hot take for Skyrim that's probably going to get me pissed on by the entire community. I really don't like Serana. I really don't. She's why I don't like Dawnguard. The DLC, that is. I think that the decision to make a character that was more in-depth in her backstory and interactive with the story was a good decision, ultimately. I just don't like her as a character. I should make that clear. I like what they were going for, I just don't like the execution.
Good. You're here. I'll place the pieces on the altar, and Dagon should speak to us.
Okay.
Mehrunes Dagon, the Lord of Change. We have brought your razor to you. We beg you, please, bring the blade's full glory to Tamriel again. It's not working. Why don't you give it a try? Just put your hands on the altar.
Something tells me that a Daedric prince like Mehrunes Dagon wouldn't exactly be appreciative of pleases and thank yous. Very well.
You Mortal, you are worthy of speaking to. You have claimed the pieces of my razor. It has been an amusing game to witness. But Dagon does not declare a winner while there is a pawn on the board. Kill Silas. He and his family have served their purpose.
Not exactly a huge fan of the idea of defying the will of a Daedric prince, especially one like you. Very well.
Kill him. Take your rightful place as my champion, or I will crush you.
Exactly why I'm doing this.
Wait, don't kill me. There's another way. I can take the pieces back to my museum, seal them in a display case. You get a generous amount of gold, I get to complete my collection, and nobody has to die.
Well, unfortunately for you, the pieces will be all together, and somebody who is more devout to Dagon could come and claim the pieces if we did that. Furthermore, I don't feel like looking over my shoulder for the rest of my life, looking out for the wrath of Dagon. So, unfortunately for you...
Fine. I'm not dying without a fight. Here we go.
Exciting.
Watch out, Lucian. I still don't know why you have the Fork of Horripilation.
I am pleased, mortal. I will give you my razor. Use it to wreak havoc on Tamriel.
I'll use the razor as I see fit, Dagon.
Spare me your pitiful pride. You are but a tool of my ambitions, mortal. Never forget that. Place your hands on my altar one last time, and you will witness the power of Mehrunes Dagon for yourself.
Very well. I do still think that is a rather cool reforging animation.
Before you go, mortal, one final challenge.
A key. We have both those enchantments, and they're just iron weapons, so I don't feel like taking on the extra weight. Anybody else? An empty strongbox. It's a bit disappointing. That isn't. It's a lot of gold and some ebony. Can I not get that last ingot? Let's see here. Sometimes quick saving and quick loading will fix things like that. Guess not in this case. There. I just pulled it out of the snow. Probably used fire to melt it a little bit in case it was frozen in. Some more gold. Soul gem. Enchanting skill book is nice. And that's a valuable helmet. And we are over encumbered again. So Lucian, you know what that means. There we go. You are now carrying 14,358 gold. Probably the most gold he has ever seen in his life. Right, I think that was everything. Yeah, and that's where I'm going to leave off this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.